Hello there, this is Cheryl Lentz, Independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, winging it on Wednesday. I have another card using the Gingham, I always get it wrong. Here, the Gingham Cottage suite. Okay, so I showed a bunch of cards yesterday using that. Today I'm going to use two different embossing folders using our Mighty Mini embosser, so cut and emboss machine. So I want to show some different tips with that. Last time when I talked about it last week, we talked about the bigger cut and emboss machine, and this is my Mighty Mini I love. But this too, we have so many cool embossing folders that are made to go into the Mighty Mini. So that's what we're going to do. So I'm going to turn the camera around. Thank you for joining me. If you're joining me live, you're joining me later. If you're joining me on YouTube, please subscribe to my channel. We're like getting up there a little bit. It's kind of exciting. I watch that every day to see how many subscribers we have. So it's sort of exciting for us. So I'm going to turn the camera around. We'll get started right away. So if this bothers you, close your eyes. I'm going for a little ride down to my desktop, where I managed to clean off a little tiny bit of it. So it's a little tiny bit of it is clean. There we go. All right, I'm going to make it bigger. I know you won't see that. There we go. We'll move it up here so you can see Stamping Journey. Ta-da, 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 ta-da. There we go. Okay, so I talked about the Gingham Cottage paper. Love, love, love it. I had a ton of cards. Go back and look on yesterday. Holy cow. It was yesterday. So the Gingham Cottage suite is on page 58 and 59 of the holiday catalog. This is the card that we're going to do today. So we're going to use two different embossing folders. One is a regular embossing folder and one is a 3D embossing folder. So we're going to learn how to do that, which I think is pretty exciting. All right, so here's our Mighty Mini. When you buy this little Mighty Mini, you get this, you get the base plate, plate number 1, you get 2 plate number 2s, that's the clear acrylic plates. And then for the embossing folders, you get this light gray one, and this one is for regular embossing folders, so not the 3D ones. And then for, you get plate number 4 for the 3D one. So it's a dark gray, just like with the big cut and emboss machine. The 3D ones always go with this dark plate. And again, it shows you exactly how to use it. You use plate number 1, plate number 4, the embossing folder in there. And it says right on here, using with 3D embossing folders. So the instructions are on here. The picture is on here. It's a good deal. So I am going to tell you about these. So this one is called Let's Celebrate. And one of them has bravo, congratulations. And one of them has birthday greetings on it. So written in all different languages. So these are really cool. It's called Let's Celebrate. 2 embossing folders for $8. What a deal. Now, these are the regular embossing folders. These are not the 3D ones, okay? They're on page 176 of the annual catalog. And then the other one, which I totally love, this one is called Stripes and Splatters. These are thicker. You can see these are the 3D ones. And these are $10 for 2 of them because they're thicker, bigger. And they are on page 177 of the annual catalog. So today we're going to use the stripe one, and we're going to use the birthday one here. So what I liked about the stripe one is that this paper has, you know, kind of lines and stripes, and I thought this mimicked that quite well. So I liked the idea of that, kind of copying that. So I'm going to start out getting those pieces embossed right away. So what I do is I'm going to put this piece over here. I wanted you to see the happy birthday on here. So I put it exactly where I wanted it to go. So here's my happy birthday, and I just lined this up. This is the fold of the embossing folder, okay? come on here. Okay, so I lined it up just like this with that right at the base, the bottom here, because that is going to be, I'm going to be cutting it out. So I'm going to move it over just a little. There we go, down just a little. Just like that. Okay, so because this is a regular embossing folder and not a 3D, I'm going to use plate number 1 and the embossing folder in here with my cardstock in, the fold towards the machine, and plate number 3. So the lighter gray is for the regular embossing folders. And then I'm just going to run this through. Ta-da! Then I have my happy birthday on there already. I don't even have to have anything written on the front of the card. It already says. So I just, kind of put it where I wanted it. So there's that one. Okay, now we're going to use the stripe one. The striped embossing folder is this nice gray piece here, smoky slate. And on this one too, I wanted it, I kind of put it in here so that it has more stripes on. So it didn't fall into a spot that didn't have any stripes. So I just kind of put it in here, but I wanted it straight. There we go. Now I use plate number 1, the 3D embossing folder with the fold going towards the inside of the machine, and the dark gray plate number 4. So here we go. Ta-da, ta-da, ta-da. I think embossing folders are a great way to add texture to your cards, interest to your cards, and you can't beat the price. It's a great deal. A lot of bang for your buck here. So let me put this over here. Okay, so on this card, I used some more of that beautiful paper. I love this Gingham Cottage paper. So I used the Blushing Bride and the Smoky Slate. So I have that as my base. So I'm just going to go ahead. I have a new glue. I stamped so much that I needed a new glue today. So that was good. I'm going to go ahead and get my base glued on here. See, the back of it is the great big huge print, but I didn't want that big print for this particular card. So I wiggle everything around here. So I'm going to go like this. And just layer that in there. Ta-da, ta-da. There we go. Sorry, I keep moving everything. All right, and now someday I'll figure that out. My Smoky Slate check. So it's the exact same pattern. It's just different colors. There we go. And I wanted this center piece to separate them. Okay, just like that. Now, I took my happy birthday, and this is 1 1/4, so it doesn't fit into our other, I have one scissors that needs to be cleaned. And I'm just going to do a narrow little cut in here, right in the center, and do a little whale tail on here. I don't want to cut out too much of the happy birthday, so I'm just going to catch a tad, just a little bit of that H on there. And then this piece just gets glued down. Ta-da, like that. I like having the checks so you can kind of see where you're going with it. So here's my happy birthday. And then I'm going to do the same thing here. A little bit of a snip in the center, and then from the corner up to my cut out piece, create a little whale tail here. There we go. Ta-da. And glue that in place. There we go. And so that went right above the birthday, so that you see the happy birthday on there, and those overlap. All right, this can go right on the base of my card. And then we're going to do the wreath cutout. So for the wreath, I stamped the leaves in the Smoky Slate. And then I did the cutouts of the little leaves, the little boughs with the leaves on there. I'm going to take this out here, set that aside. So here are this is for cutting out my little leaves that go on the wreath. Here's my wreath. Ta-da, ta-da, here it is, smoky slate. Okay, so now I messed up. Remember how I talked about yesterday? There's an up and a down and all around the town, but I kind of, I moved it around on my desk, so I'm not sure. So I will show you another way I kind of figured out where to go. So here is my wreath, because it has that little notch on the embossing or the die cut. Ta-da. Okay, now I'm gonna take this, put it over here. All right, so here's my die cut. This one here. Now the other little thing that I noticed is that there's one little, kind of a little heart. It looks sort of like a little heart, two together. And you can kind of see that on this die cut. So if you miss it, if you miss seeing where the up and down is, you can look for that. It looks like a little, see that? It looks like a little glove or a little heart. And then here is that same little bump. So that's how I figured out, okay, even if I don't remember which way I stamped it, I can look at that. So kind of, hello, Lynn. Kind of a foolproof way of doing it. So I'm using the Mighty Mini again. So for the die cuts, you're going to use plate number 1. You're going to use plate number 2. You're going to put your die cut right here. Let me line it up. And if you want to line it up and use a little washi tape to hold it in place, sometimes I do that if I can find my washi tape. But what I do is I just take a little piece. Of course, my washi tape says Stampin' Up. I just take a little piece, but I try to get it like on the die and the paper, not where I stamped. So I'm holding that die in place, just like that. Okay, and then another plate number 2. And we'll run it through here, and we'll have our little wreath. Ta-da. Okay. Perfect. There we go. And here's my 4 little bows here. I love that they have 4 of them. So makes it a lot easier. And it's the perfect amount to go around the wreath. So you don't, there's like very little thinking, right? I can just like go, okay, this works. I don't even have to think about it. So there's my 4 little, so I have plate number 1, plate number 2, and another plate number 2 on top of that. And we will run that through and cut out our little wreaths. Here are our little bows. This is the bows. There we go. Ta-da, perfect. All right, let me get my pickup tool here just to move these over. They're all loose on there. Okay, now we get to put them all together. So here's my wreath. Here's my die. Here's my wreath, like this. And then I have a tied bow, this sparkly bow that I'm going to put right here. So when I did that, I kind of laid that in place. I didn't glue it down right away. But then I took my pickup tool and I just kind of laid these out just so that I knew kind of where they should all go. And then I'll pick them up and glue them into place. But I just wanted to kind of balance them out. There we go. Because I also added the iridescent pearls to this after I did that. So when I have it all laid out like that, then I just pick it up and I'm going to put a little bit of glue on the leaves, just a tiny little smidgen. There we go. Just like that, a little tiny bit. It doesn't need a whole lot. Come on, there we go. And it helps if you talk to your glue, apparently, because I find myself doing that all the time. Okay, here we go. Here's this one. So I just put it down, give it a press, pick up the next one, just kind of move along that way. Whoops, that's too much. There we go. Little bit. I love the pickup tool. Okay, there we go. And I'm just sort of centering it on the wreath. That's another one. I like that it fits perfect. So even if you're using, like on this one, I used a tied wreath. Some of the cards that I showed you yesterday, I did the bow, the stamped image, which is really cute, and it fits on here perfectly too. So, there. Okay, one more. There we go. Oops, come on. There, da-da-da-da. Oopsie daisy. Came off for me, so let's just put it in place. All right, just like that. There we go. We can move that over, put that in, and then I put on my little iridescent pearls. I love these. So they come in different sizes. I like the little tiny ones, little seed pearls for this one, because I put them in groups of 3, most of them here. So it does use a number of them, but they're so pretty. I like the idea of the pearls versus a rhinestone even, because I think it gives it a softer look with the pink and the gray. I think it looks really pretty together. So that is why I picked the pearls. Here we go. And because they're nice and tiny for putting on this project, I think it's a nice size, size-wise, it's good. There we go. And then I did put one like on the edges here. Put one up here. There we go. Okay, so after that, I'm gonna put my bow on here. I'll put my bow on after, no, I'll put it on now. So when I put my bow on, I double up on my glue dots because I wanted to have a little more cushion to push it in there. And I put it in the center where I want the bow to go, right where the knot is. And then I've been putting it layered up on either side of that too, just to make sure that it sticks on well, so my bows aren't falling off all over the place. There we go. So I have 3 stacks of glue dots, and then I'm just going to line it up and push it in. And this is so thin, this ribbon. There we go, just like that. Ta-da! Let's put these over on my magnetic sheet before I lose them. I'm good at that. Okay, so we're going to put it on the front of the card. I am going to use glue dots. I have my little mini glue dots here, mini machine, mini glue dots. That makes sense, right? Today. So here we go. Put these on, space them kind of evenly around here. Make sure it stays on. I'm a glue dot, or yeah, dimensional fan. I love dimensionals. There we go. Everybody's wearing them around here. It's the in thing. The poor dog, she's usually under the desk, and she's comes upstairs and she's got the backings of the glue dots on her. Okay, so this is just going to go right here. I wanted it just slightly onto my gray part, and I did the gray leaves because it was mainly going on the blushing bride side. So there we go. And then inside, I used a verse from Peaceful Moments. That's this. This is one of my go-to word sets. So I did that for, here we go. I used the Smoky Slate. Because it's a happy birthday card, and it says, wishing you every happiness this special day will bring. So actually, it could be, well, this says happy birthday, so it could be for your birthday. Happy birthday. Here we go. Did I get that straight? Kind of. All right. And then I wanted to kind of mimic the bows here, and it has this stamped image that's a little bit bigger, but that's okay. Ta-da. Just wanted it to go with the front of the card. I could have put a piece of, like I usually do, a piece of DSP in there, but this verse is a little bit bigger, so I didn't want to do that. As long as I have a stamped image that matches kind of the look of the die that I put on the front, that's what I wanted to do. So here we go. That's it. Ta-da, ta-da, ta-da. This goes inside. I had this one cut 4 1/4 by 11, scored at 5 1/2 for my card base here. Ta-da, there you go. A sweet little birthday card. Pretty fast, totally different than the ones I showed yesterday. So you'll have to go in and look at yesterday's video if you didn't see it. Lots and lots of cards. But I just thought it was kind of soft and sweet. It would make a nice baby card, not with the happy birthday, but you could use the congratulations, anything like that. I just thought it was kind of pretty. And the little iridescent pearls kind of give it a sparkle in there. I thought they were really fun. So thank you. Thank you, Lisa Marie. Hello, hello, hello. Thank you so much. Yep, there you go. That's my work for the day. I'm going to turn the camera around here. So I wanted to cover about the embossing folders and that kind of stuff too. So I think that's really important because we have so many that are coming in to use with the mini machine. And so many of our dies can be used with the mighty mini. That's what I like to call it. It's just good to keep that in mind in case you want one of those. So thank you so much. You have a great day. Today is Wednesday. I will see you on Friday. We'll see what I come up with on Friday. If there's something you want to see in particular, please let me know. I would be happy to work on anything you're wanting to look at. So it makes my job easier to know what you're looking for. So thank you for joining me. Have a great day, and we'll see you for Follow Up Friday. Bye-bye.